Hey everybody, Dr. Pancakeface here, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the brand new heister, Duke. Now Duke, he is the winning submission in the Make Your Own Heister contest that Payday had. This is him. He's got this pretty cool looking Greco-Roman kind of looking mask here. He has this snazzy bow tie here. That thing is pretty nice. He is one of the older heisters. I think he's supposed to be in like his 50s or something. And if you take off the mask, yeah, you can see he's starting to get up there in the age. But he kind of gives me like a James Bond feel. It's kind of cool, like a Sean Connery James Bond feel. Doesn't have a Scottish accent though. You can say that. So guns. So we have these guys, the AKIMBO CROSSKILL guard pistols. They look pretty neat. I got them decked out with some stuff. I was screwing around with them with some silenced pistols. Is the way that I was having fun with them. So that's why I've got these silencers on them. But yeah, you can get grips for them that increase your stability, extended mag, and a slide to increase your stability as well. So plenty of stability buffs. There's also a single one that you can get here. I've got this one decked out as well. You can get a sight on top of it. Now, what's really neat about Duke is the perk deck that comes with him. And that's the Stoic. So, the Stoic perk deck. What's neat about this, it's another perk deck that gives you a... it takes up a throwable slot. So you have this hip flask. You can use this hip flask every 10 seconds. And here's what it does. See, your damage is reduced by 75%. 25% you're taking direct damage. 75% on the other hand gets applied as damage over time over 16 seconds. And each time you take more damage, it's not like it all stacks into the same 16 seconds. It starts a new 16 seconds. Or at least that's what it seems like to me. I'm pretty sure that's the way it goes. Now, what you can do with this hip flask, you can drink the hip flask and it will immediately stop any pending damage. It negates all the pending damage. Bam, you keep all that health. So essentially, it gives you the ability to only take 25% damage at a time. And as you move on, it gets a little bit more interesting. So, the next one that you get, all of your armor is converted and applied to your health. Neato. Now this is this looks like it would be pretty good with the improved combined tactical vest, which is what I was kind of screwing around with it. And it seems pretty tough. Next up, we've got this guy here. After not taking damage for 4 seconds, any damage over time you're still waiting to receive will be negated. So, basically what this does is one of two things. A, you can duck behind cover. If you've got a big old stack of damage that's waiting to be applied, you can duck behind cover, and after a couple of seconds, bam, it's gone. Or, if you're at the end of police wave, you won't continue to take all that damage into the lull between waves. So that'll stop that damage that you're taking. Next up is this guy right here. When your health is below 35%, the cooldown for your flask will be reduced by 2 seconds for each enemy kill instead of 1. Forgot to mention that. Back here, the flask, you can use it every 10 seconds, but the time remaining will be lessened by 1 second for each enemy kill. So if you get a bunch of kills real quick, bam, 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 you can get your flask back up. Where was it? Here it is. This, on the other hand, when your health is below 35%, now the cooldown for your flask will be reduced by 2 seconds for each kill instead of 1 second. That sounds interesting, because that kind of gives me an idea of using it with Berserk. I don't know. I'll have to screw around with that. That might be fun to have a Berserk build going with the Stoic perk deck. That might be a pretty cool build. Yeah, I'll have to dig around with that. And then finally, once you get to the end down here, when damage over time is removed, you will be healed for an additional 50% of damage over time remaining at that point. Now here's something I haven't quite been able to understand. Because it says an additional. You're not being healed to begin with. So I don't know if that's a typo or what. Because I've screwed around with the deck. And you don't heal up when you use it. It just cuts off any damage that you're taking. And when you're sitting still, not taking any damage, you're not like gaining any health. So it's not like you have armor recovery. Like I thought at first that maybe your armor recovery skills would go into this, and so you could spec into armor recovery skills, and it would be able to let you recover health. No, doesn't work like that. You've just got a huge health pool, and when you take damage, it stays there. So this, I don't know if it's saying that in addition to negating the pending damage, it heals 50% of that on top of that? Maybe that's the way it was supposed to be read? I don't know. It's kind of confusing wording. But yeah, I've screwed around with this perk deck a little bit. I made a build to go with the improved combined tactical vest. Basically, it's just enforcer skills, some silenced weapon skills to buff you, pistol skills, revenant skills, and I figured I'd go on ahead and buff up uppers. This is just something I'm screwing around with. I may make a video for this. But yeah, it was just something I figured throw on a bunch of armor. Let's play with the pistols that he comes with. So let's buff those. And then I figured since your health is basically everything you got, you don't really have to worry about armor so much. Yeah, take a lot of armor because it converts all that armor into health. Like, look at my health now. It's 451. That's a decent amount of health. I think that's the same amount of health that you get with the where is it? The muscle, yeah, 800-pound gorilla. I think that it's the same you get with the 800 or the muscle deck. Plus you can have armor on top of the muscle deck, and you get health regen with the muscle deck. So as far as health goes, the muscle deck's probably going to be a better one. I don't know. Of course, this one gives you like a 75% damage reduction, so that's nice. It's definitely something I'm going to have to screw around with, and kind of get a feel for it. But yeah, that is the character pack. That's Duke. That's his mask. That's his guns. That's his perk deck. Should be fun to play with. But yeah, that pretty much does it for this video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, go on ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll catch you guys later.